everyone, I'm Wayne and welcome back to my channel. Today we are breaking down the upcoming launch at Lentor Garden Residences in District 26. Mention Lentor to anyone right now and the knee-jerk reaction is one word: oversupply. There are a total of 11 plots slated for residential development in the Lentor area and we are currently heading into plot number 7. Let me give you an overview of what is happening in the area. The transformation of this area began with the first plot of land, Lentor Modern, an integrated mixed-use development which had attained its TOP and people are already moving in. Then we have Lentor Hills Residences, Lentoria, Lentor Mansion, Hillock Green, Lentor Central Residences, and now Lentor Garden Residences. Wacoland had also secured the latest GLS plot in March 2026, and together with 3 more future sites that are still unreleased, we are looking at a mega precinct township that will house around 5,000 new private residential units. On top of that, critics will also point out that this specific plot sits the closest to the industrial buildings amongst the plot of land around the Lentor Hillock Park. But if you actually look at the land data, it reveals a completely different story. This might just be the most fascinating plot of all. Why? Because while everybody tells you property prices only goes up, the land bids here just dropped a massive truth bomb. We are looking at a land cost of $920 per square foot per plot ratio. To put that into perspective, that is almost $300 per square foot cheaper than the first plot, Lentor Modern, which was awarded at $1,204 per square foot per plot ratio. But the real shocker, the most recent Lentor Central plot right next to the shopping mall just closed at $1,278 per square foot per plot ratio by Wacoland, a staggering 39% premium over this site. Why pay for tomorrow's prices when you can enter at today's lower baseline? Long story short, now is your tactical time machine to buy back into the 2022 land prices. If you have been following the market trends closely and look at how major developers strategically price their assets, this gap gives us an incredibly clear blueprint. Having recently sold a unit at Springleaf Residences and helping other clients secure units at Tengah Garden Residences at $2,100 per square foot, justifying value is about ignoring the hype over the noise and spotting the price disparity. If you want to learn how to make asset decisions based on cold hard facts instead of online hype, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button, or share this video with your family members and friends who are looking to navigate the property market. It really helps the channel immensely and gives me the encouragement to keep churning out quality content like this. Here is today's project analysis. We are doing a rapid fire project snapshot, breaking down a realistic affordability price matrix, looking at the 3 reasons why people will not buy and why people will buy this development. Let's dive straight in. Now before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. It is solely based on my opinion and my analysis. Please always do your own research and due diligence before making any decisions. If you are liking the contents so far, do hit the like and subscribe button as your simple gesture will keep me motivated to post more contents like this. At the side is my social media handles. If you like the personalized guidance tailored to your own circumstances, you can scan the QR code to get in touch with me for a one-to-one consultation. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. First off, rapid fire project overview. The full project details aren't 100% out yet at the point of filming, but here is what we know about Lentor Garden Residences so far. It's located in District 26, developer is Kingsford, total units 499. This breaks down into 496 residential units and, interestingly, 3 Strata Terraces. The site area is about roughly 200,000 square feet of land and its tenure is 99 years with a low density plot ratio of 2.1. We also have the spoiled Singaporean perk. Car light zones are common these days, but we are only a comfortable 300 to 400 meter stroll to the Lentor MRT station. Yet word on the ground is that the developer is providing a free shuttle service for the first year anyway. You probably won't need it, but hey, we'll just take it. The estimated price matrix. A quick disclaimer, official indicative prices are not out yet, but the developers have promised to start from $2,050 per square foot. I'm using an average of $2,200 per square foot conservatively as a realistic baseline as shown below. Take a look at these numbers as compared to Lentor Modern. For the 2 bedrooms, Lentor Modern is priced at $1.48 million versus Lentor Garden estimated average of $1.42 million. For 3 bedrooms, Lentor Modern $2.23 million to $2.8 million versus Lentor Garden $1.19 million to $2.53 million. For 4 bedrooms, Lentor Modern $3.4 million to $3.5 million versus Lentor Garden $2.6 million to $3.39 million. And 3 Strata Terrace units that none of the other developments offers, estimated at around $3.29 million. Okay, now the 3 reasons why people will not buy. Let's look at the not so good perspective first. If you talk to anyone trying to find an excuse not to enter the market, these are the most common reasons that they will tell you. Number 1, oversupply. With so many projects launching back-to-back in the same area, people are naturally concerned about competing with thousands of neighboring units when it comes to future resale or tenancy demand. Number 2, the MRT distance. Within the cluster of the Lentor developments, this plot sits at the far end of Lentor Hillock Park, slightly further away from the MRT compared to the other plot. And third, Industrial facing, the southern and eastern edges face towards the clean industrial and logistic buildings, leading to concerns over view clearances and creates a psychological hurdle. Before we look at why people will buy, let's debunk these three myths using actual market performance data. Myth number 1, Lentor is an oversupplied town. This takes me back to 2022, when I was heavily involved in the launch of Lentor Modern. People were already screaming oversupply, because CCR condos like Copper at Newton were priced at similar levels around $2,000+ per square foot. Fast forward 4 years, those same people who told you not to buy are still sitting on the fence. Ask them what they eventually bought. If they bought nothing or chosen a stagnant resale property, didn't it just set them back financially for the wrong reason? Today, subsale and early resale transactions at Lentor Modern are already crossing $2,400 to $2,500 per square foot against their entry prices of $1,900 to $2,200 per square foot, netting these groups of early adopters great profit margins. The market has completely absorbed the premium. If you enter Lentor Gardens at an average price of $2,200 per square foot, when subsale prices next door are hitting $2,400 to $2,500 per square foot, are you not buying into an asset with immediate built-in equity safety net? Here's an info nugget to share with all of you out there about oversupply. Do you know which MRT station has the most number of private residential units within a 500-meter radius of an MRT station? And what are the annualized gains? To my surprise, it is actually the Great World Station. It has a count of more than 5,800 private residential units within a 500-meter radius, yet the average annualized gains is pretty healthy at 2.56%. On the flip side, we can look at an ultra-exclusive and prestigious area at Marina Bay. There are only a total of 1,400 units with higher scarcity compared to Great World. Can you guess if the average annualized gains for Marina Bay is higher or lower? Marina Bay clocked in with just 1.1% average annualized gains. When we look at the broader data across Singapore, a fascinating pattern emerges. Supply alone does not dictate your profits. As you can see, high density doesn't necessarily hinder growth. Areas like Lakeside with 3,700 units, Punggol with 3,100 units, and Queenstown with 3,800 units are recording average annualized gains of 3.93%, 3.92%, and 3.76% respectively. It doesn't guarantee growth either. Areas like Dakota with 3,500 units clock in at 2.56%, or Newton with 4,300 units at 1.76%. Now if you take Sengkang with 1,900 units versus Havelock with 1,200 units, or Toa Payoh with just 1,000 units, despite having a much higher unit count, the gains for Sengkang is at 2.83%, while for Havelock and Toa Payoh is only 2.33% and 2.4%, even though they have a lower density. There is no automatic correlation between actual density numbers and their returns. It actually has more to do with the specific township and whether the demand for the area is strong or not. Strong demand areas like Queenstown and Punggol, even with the higher density, there will still be people coming in to buy. So if fewer units don't necessarily guarantee higher profits, what actually drives capital appreciation? Why are dense estates like Lakeside and Punggol crushing the market? Scarcity alone does not automatically equals to profit. It all boils down to two things: transaction volume and entry quantum. A large cluster of units actually creates a healthy, continuous stream of transactions, one after another. That constant buying and selling is exactly what sets the new higher price benchmarks for your home. Every time your neighbor sells their unit for a higher price, your valuation instantly goes up. Conversely, in highly scarce areas like Marina Bay, the entry price is already high and transactions are rare. The same applies to the Newton area, where the majority of owners prefers to rent out their units due to the proximity to town. Without a steady flow of units changing hand, prices stagnate. Do not let the oversupply myth scare you when you can secure a unit with highly profitable entry price. Myth number 2, it is too far from the MRT. A 350-meter walk is roughly 4 to 5 minute stroll at normal pace. This short distance is actually an advantage for privacy. I have worked with many buyers who actually deliberately avoid integrated developments simply because of the heightened foot traffic. Being set back from the main area means you are shielded from the heavy retail traffic, bus bay noises, and more congestion. You get direct side gate access to the future Hewlett Park. You just walk up the slope and down the slope through a beautifully manicured green space, and you are right at the MRT concourse. It provides a level of peace and quiet that integrated high traffic blocks simply cannot offer. Myth number 3, the industrial facing is ugly. There is a linear park acting as a natural buffer between the development and Lentor Garden Residences, providing an additional layer of separation and privacy. It's important to remember that property developers are not amateurs. When they acquire a land parcel, they are already fully aware of the site's strengths and challenges. The master plan, block positioning, and architectural orientation are carefully designed to maximize the best views while mitigating potential drawbacks. For the north-facing stacks, residents will enjoy direct views towards the expansive greenery of Hewlett Park, offering a tranquil and lush outlook. For the south-facing stacks, while they overlook the industrial zone, it is worth noting that these are predominantly clean, low-rise B1 business parks used for logistics, storage, and light industrial activities, not heavy manufacturing or smoke-emitting factories. In addition, units from approximately the 8th floor and above will clear these low-rise buildings, opening up to sweeping views of the vast Lentor Lander enclave and the greenery. Given the low-density nature of these buildings, the view is likely to remain largely unblocked for the foreseeable future. Conversely, stacks below the 8th floor may present an interesting value proposition. These units are typically priced at a more attractive discount, allowing buyers to enter the development at a lower quantum while still benefiting from the project's overall growth potential. Are you enjoying the breakdown so far? If you are, do subscribe to the channel. I analyze and share data-backed real estate videos on projects and market sentiments. Subscribing will ensure that you do not miss out when a new video is dropped and helps me bring you more unfiltered ground data. Now let us explore why people will buy Lentor Garden Residences. Number 1. Entry price. To determine whether your entry price is ideal, we first have to do a comparative analysis on the surrounding projects. Let me show you the land cost of all the Lentor projects launched so far. As you can see right here, Lentor Garden Residences actually secured the lowest land bid in the area at just $920 per square foot per plot ratio. While this is good news, I will also want to caution you that just because a developer got the land cheap, does not mean they have to sell you cheap, especially when they know the very next plot bidded by Guaco Land was secured at $1,278 per square foot per plot ratio. Let us analyze the developer's playbook. If you have been watching the market, you will know Kingsford's strategy. They usually price units incredibly attractive at the front of the launch to get the crowd in, and then they increase the price as momentum builds up. Remember Normanton Park? It was launched at a super attractive price at the beginning, but subsequently towards the tail end, prices were increased. A more recent example, remember Tron Park? We saw prices revise upwards multiple times throughout the launch day itself. Now, take a look at this summary I've put together. The majority of projects in this enclave are sitting in the $2,000 to $2,400 per square foot region. Lentor is a fascinating case study right now because the launches are back-to-back. Some of these plots fall into the pre-GFA harmonization era, while others are fully affected by it. By the way, if you want to understand exactly how GFA harmonization impacts you as a buyer or seller, go check out my other video where I break that down in detail. Coming back to the numbers on the screen, you see Lentor Central got their land at $982 per square foot per plot ratio and Lentora at $1,130 per square foot per plot ratio. Yet, their launch price is around $1,900 per square foot. Meanwhile, Hillock Green had a land cost of $1,108 per square foot per plot ratio, but launched at one of the lowest starting prices at $1,700 per square foot. What does this tell you? Land cost does not dictate launch price in a straight line. Here's a more crucial data point. Lentor modern resale prices have already reached the $2,500 per square foot mark as shown earlier. This shows that the market demand absorption is there. Buyers are willing to pay. Think about your margin of safety. If you are one of the early movers who can secure Lentor Gardens at an entry price in the $2,000 to $2,100 per square foot range, you are sitting on a surefire buffer of about $400 per square foot.
One important point many buyers overlook is the difference between non-harmonized and harmonized developments. Take Lentor Modern as an example. As a non-harmonized development, its transacted resale price of $2,596 per square foot is based on the floor area that includes the aircon latch. When you adjust for GFA harmonization, assuming about 7% of the area, roughly 70 square foot of a 1,000 square foot unit, is attributable to the aircon latch, the equivalent price works out to be approximately $2,777 per square foot based on pure livable space. In contrast, Lentor Gardens is a harmonized project. This means the advertised floor area already excludes the aircon ledge. So every square foot you're paying for is absolute usable living space. Yet, prices are only starting from around $2,050 per square foot. There's a gap of roughly $727 per square foot when comparing on a like-for-like harmonized basis. In other words, you're entering the Lentor market at a significantly lower effective price while paying only for actual livable space, not areas like the aircon ledge that you are not able to fully utilize.
One thing I can tell you with absolute certainty, buying the land cheap doesn't mean the developer will sell you cheap. But when a developer buys the land high, that definitely means they cannot go lower than their base cost. At a higher land cost of $1,278 per square foot per plot ratio for the next plot, I can't really say how much they will launch at, but I can tell you that it is unlikely to go below $2,300 per square foot, which is their break-even price. In other words, your entry price today is structurally protected by the higher land cost of tomorrow. Number 2, the appeal. How is the appeal like for the area? What are the buyers looking for when they come and look at this area? And what made them willing to put down millions of dollars for a home in this area? Lentor is definitely more of an own-stay area, and what do families actually care about? Most of the time, it can be summarized into 3 main categories: the future of their children, connectivity, and the immediate lifestyles for themselves. They want to be near good schools, and they also want absolute convenience. We are located within a 1 kilometer radius of Anderson Primary School and 2 kilometer radius of CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls' School. Combine that with the fact that Lentor Modern Shopping Mall and Lentor MRT is already fully operational, where you can enjoy premium lifestyle infrastructure ready from day one. Number 3. Future demand and exit strategy. Who are you going to sell to in the next 5 to 10 years? Lentor was intentionally opened up by the Ministry of National Development because mature estates like Ang Mo Kio and Yio Chu Kang have a massive shortage of new private residential land. According to PropNext research, there are over 5,000 HDB flats hitting their MOP in the surrounding clusters. These are owners sitting on highly profitable million-dollar HDB assets looking to upgrade, but majority would still prefer to remain near their home territory. They want to stay near their parents, their favorite hawker centers, and their familiar comfort zone. The Lentor area is the next modern upgrade they have been waiting for. But it doesn't just stop there. You also have a second wave of buyers, affluent business owners moving down from the north, areas like Yishun, Sembawang, and Woodlands, who want a more premium, prestigious address. And finally, don't forget the wealthy landed property owners from the nearby Thomson enclaves. As they age, a landed property may become too big for them and they want to downsize. They don't want to climb stairs anymore, but they still want that single-level luxury lifestyle in an area they love. When you look at this ecosystem, your exit demographic isn't just a guess, it's rock solid. You have wealthy HDB upgraders, affluent business owners, and cash-rich landed downgraders all funneling right into Lentor. That is how you secure a winning exit. At the end of the day, the property market never rewards spectators. There will always be a group of people telling you why a project is overpriced, why you should wait for a crash, or why you should only buy a cheap resale. These are usually the exact same people who end up doing absolutely nothing, while inflation eats away at their cash reserves and property prices drifts further away from their goals. Now, I am not saying blindly buy this project, because the price, stack, facing are all important considerations to determine if a unit is a good buy or a great buy. If you have been jumping from video to video but still lack absolute clarity on what your 5 to 10 year property game plan should look like, let's work on that. We can set up a private one-to-one data-driven consultation to plan your portfolio and build a roadmap that actually works for you. Feel free to reach out to me, Wayne, at 987-94135 if you are serious about taking action. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend who is house hunting. Once again, I'm Wayne, helping you navigate every property move with confidence and clarity. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!